All right, again, welcome, welcome. My name's Amy Peterson. For those of you just coming in, we were chatting about how it is a Monday, right? And it is 4 days until Christmas at the time of this recording. And, let's see, it's the shortest day of the year. It's the winter solstice. Tonight, I can't remember which two planets because it's that type of Monday, are actually going to align to make it look like almost there's like the brightest star. And this is for the first time in like 800 some odd years. So welcome to 2020, everybody. This it's the best way I can put it is welcome to 2020. This is one of the last Mondays of the year. I think we have one more Monday to go. We have one more Monday. So, this is actually a great time to come up to the next law, right? Which is the law of reflection. And that's something that everybody should do actually on a daily basis, but it's something that definitely everybody is starting to do right now, with the end of the year quickly approaching, and the holidays approaching. And, when we come up to it, Erica, I just got into the chat. Erica, you're a Christmas Eve shopper. God love you. My husband and I did Christmas shopping, and then I got really sick, and he finished Christmas shopping. We got all of our Christmas shopping done in 2 days. Thank God for him for that one. Yeah, Shawnette, definitely feel better. Guys, but with that, going back to the reflection, whenever we do anything that's effective, or whenever we do anything, okay, you see right here it says follow effective action with reflective quiet. That should honestly be in anything we do. But a lot of times we don't let that actually happen, do we? We just kind of really don't pay attention to it like we need to. But what we need to understand is reflection turns experience into knowledge. When we can go back and we can look at things, which is what we're going to talk about, we can learn more from it. All right. And everyone needs a time and a place to just pause. Okay. Who here remembers the video? It had gone viral of a mom who like locked herself in her pantry, and she's like, do you see what happens when you have like, and she had like two toddler twins, and you see like their little hands coming up underneath the door. Or you don't have kids and you have like a cat or a dog, how many times do you just like get away? Or even when you, this is, I know this is a little TMI, but even when you go to the bathroom, like how many times do you sit there and like you might have a pet with they stick their little paw, or they breathe heavily underneath the door at you. Yes, Linda, your kids and cat, yes. But the thing is though, is everybody needs a time and a place to pause. Okay, in the chat, let me know really quick, how many of you actually stop during your day for 10 seconds? And we've talked about doing this, so I'm really interested to find out if you guys do this. Are you stopping for about 10 seconds when things just get way too crazy? Who here stops for like 10 seconds, goes into a closet, goes into a bathroom stall if you're at work, goes into your car, something, to just pause? Who here does that? Danny, good. Yep. Shawnette, exactly. Stare at the window and collect your thoughts. Good. Who else? Because we've talked about doing this before, guys. Danny, have to get away from hubby. Oh, really, Danny? No, I understand that completely. I have to get away from mine for like 2 weeks at a time. That's how long my reflective pause is for my husband, even though I love him with my whole heart. Annie, good, you do. Who else? Who else actually stops? Like, and it's really interesting because I've only heard from, let's see. Woo, I can't scroll up. It's not letting me scroll up. All right, so Linda, Danny, Shawnette, and Annie. Sometimes you have to get away from you, Annie. That is so funny. And there's 11 people on here. So here's the thing, guys, all right? If you don't do this, you're not giving yourself a chance to look at the situation, all right? And by doing that, something bad can happen. You can blow up, you can make the wrong decision, you can go off track. Negative things can come from that by not just stopping, okay? Because pausing allows people to make sure that they're on the right track. And if someone's going down that wrong road, they don't need motivation to speed up. What they need to do is they need to stop, they need to reflect, and they need to change course. Okay? Did you guys hear that? They need to stop, reflect, and change course. Now, let's say you're doing something in business, all right? And you're going full tilt, but you're not getting any results. Okay? Here's the thing, guys. Yes, if you don't pause, your anger takes over. Your anger, frustration, the want to quit, okay? Maybe what you're doing as far as marketing efforts isn't what you should be doing as far as marketing efforts. But you're not gonna know if you're going full tilt and you don't stop and look at your SMART goals and look at your measuring to see if it is right. You see what I mean here? In business, we have to be able to see measurable outcomes, okay? And in marketing our business, because no matter what you do, all right, in marketing, it has to be measurable, all right? But if you're not measuring it, stopping to take that pause, okay, reflecting on it, you can't change what needs to be changed. You know what? Why does it look like I spelled course wrong? I really think I spelled course wrong, and if I did, I really do apologize, guys. But when we do stop and we say, okay, I've been putting these out over here, but it's not working. Do I stop and say, I'm going to quit? Do I stop and say, I'm done? Do I stop and say, this is depressing? Yeah, it might be depressing, but what can you do to fix it? What can you do to change something? What can you do to tweak something? If you don't stop and reflect on it, it's not going to help. It's the same thing in life. And this is where life and business, you know, in these laws really collide with each other, okay? We've talked about the personal aspect in our lives, how, you know, we need to stop for our own sanity. But in business too, guys, it's extremely important that you stop, reflect, and change different courses in your business, the way you do things. How about when you're trading? How about when you're, you know, booking travel? You know, how about when you're doing anything? You need to take a stop and say, okay, this is what I've done. This has been the outcome. How can I increase? Because we always want to increase, right? How can I increase my efforts on the business side? How can I increase my positivity on my personal side? Do you see where pausing really, really allows you to make sure that you're on the right track of what you're doing? Everyone needs a time and a place to pause. Pausing with intention, oops, hold on a second. Pausing with intention expands and enriches your thinking, okay? Solitude is a minute of thought. Okay, hold on. A minute of thought is worth more than an hour of talk. I want you guys to screenshot that, write that down, because you need to remember this. A minute of thought is worth more than an hour of talk. When you are able to create a lonely place in the middle of your actions and concerns, your successes and failures slowly can lose their power over you. We should not be ruled by our successes and failures. Those are goals and learning stones. They don't rule us. We rule them. We are the ruler of our success. We are the creator of our success. We are the ruler of our failures. Think about that. We rule our own failure. It was our action, right? We stumbled. We have the choice to get up or sit down. Remember the butt? You got a choice to sit on it or get off it. So you are the ruler of these things, even your failures. They should not have power over you. They should not sit there and tell you who you are. They should not define you. You define you. You overcoming obstacles defines you. Or you choosing not to even fight your obstacles defines you. Think about that part. Your actions define you. Successes and failures aren't going to define you. They aren't going to rule or have power over you. Why? Because you can break them down and analyze them. Anything that can be broken down and analyzed does not have power over you. Those haters, those demotivators, do not have power over you. You have power over you. So pause with an intention to expand and enrich. The way to do that is shut everybody up. Shut them up. Shut them up in your mind and shut them up in your environment. Go find a quiet place. Get the heck away from the voices. I think one of the biggest things, I sat down with an ex of mine, okay? And I know we're supposed to never like go in the past, but no, I've always stayed friends with him. And, you know, we sat down and we had a talk, and it really came up to me one time where I was just like, you know what? Why did you choose to not work things out with me? And he said he had too many voices in his ear. He let the thoughts and the wants and the provocation of others control his thinking. He let others have power over his life versus him taking control and having power of himself and his own choices. So you have to think here, guys. You have to stop and pause with intention and expand and enrich your thinking. And by doing that, you need to cut out the mouths. You need to cut out the chatter. If you have to turn your phone off for an hour or 10 minutes, if you have to walk away from your kids who are screaming all over the place, if you have to walk away from your cat that is demanding from you, just do it. Get away from the noise. Get away from the noise. Go into a closet. Go into your car. Don't turn on the radio. Enjoy the quiet, because it's going to help you expand and enrich your thinking. You're creating a lonely place, and it's not a bad lonely place, but you are creating a place for you in the middle of all your actions, in the middle of all your concerns. And everything going on in the outside world is going to lose power over you and allow you to be empowered to take over your life. Because we're the directors of this script, okay? We're the directors and the producers of this movie that we call our lives, that Celia calls the movie of Celia, that James calls the movie of James. Nobody else is writing it for them. Nobody else is directing it for them. Nobody else is producing it for them. They were meant to be on a path. And that path told them throughout their whole lives and tells you, which is why you're here, hey, there's something more for you, but you've got to go find it. You've got to go get it. So you have to create that place to say, okay, what do I got to do? What have I done? Where has it got me? Where am I going to go? What do I got to change? So there's incubation. It's like meditation, and you guys have heard me talk about meditation, but it's taking an experience of life, okay, and putting it into a slow cooker in your mind to simmer. And for all of you who are cooking this holiday and have cooked in, Thanksgiving and stuff, y'all know, or you just really like your slow cooker like I do, you know what a slow cooker is, right? It takes a while. But listen, Galileo said, all truths are easy to understand once they are discovered. The point is to discover them, and that takes investigation. What does that mean, though? Yes, Sheila, I love my slow cooker too. So, all right, with meditation, we know that we want clarity, okay? We know the issue, but we also need to kind of realign ourselves and kind of bring ourselves back down so that we can see something with a clearer view. But with incubation, we're going to actually look at it now, like really look at it and kind of break it apart. But in order to do that, we need to kind of let it cook in our brain. Have you ever watched those like detective movies and they have all these clues? And my favorite, of course, is CSI Las Vegas. And, the Grissom would walk away and he would just think. And then he'd say something like, I'll be back. And then he just goes on a roller coaster. Because Vegas, of course, has roller coasters on the Strip, all right? But he goes on a roller coaster, or he goes and does something totally different, and then it hits him. It hits him, it hits him, it hits him, it hits him. Exactly what's going on, exactly what needs to be done, where the clues are all pointing to. Because he's let it go into his slow cooker, he put in all the ingredients, and he put it on cook, and he walked away. And then that amazing smell hit his nose, and he came over to it and realized it was done. And he had what he was meant to find. But he had to discover the truth. He had to put in all the clues to create the truth. And he had to let it cook. And we've got to do that in our minds too, okay? Let's say there's something going on. Leadership is never easy. Never, ever easy. So sometimes you have to take in all the facts, okay? Whether they actually be fact or whether they be just somebody's fact, okay? We have to take in all the details. We have to take in, all the different accounts, and there can be a lot of accounts. And we have to kind of let them slow cook in our brain. And sometimes we do have to talk to somebody to kind of throw the ideas back and forth, to kind of help process, because, sometimes you need somebody to chop up the celery to throw in that slow cooker, right? So, you sit there and you mull through it, and sometimes you just got to walk away from it and then come back. And when you come back, it's like, oh, that was the answer. Because it takes a bit for our brain to process everything. It's got that magnifying glass, and it's going through all the little facts, all the little details, all the little ifs, all the, ands, the buts, the who's, the what's, the whens, the hows. It's going through all that. We don't have to sit there and think about it because it drives us crazy. Let it simmer. The answer will come to you. How many times in the chat right now? Okay, this should be a really quick answer. How many times do you sit there, you get into a conversation with somebody, and you want to tell them about this amazing place, but oh my gosh, you can't think of the name of that restaurant. And no matter how much you sit there It's like your brain feels like it's going to explode, and you start getting frustrated because you cannot remember the name of that restaurant, but you want to tell your friend. And then you walk away, you go, you have dinner, you watch TV, you take your shower, you get in bed, you close your eyes, you wake up, holy crap, there it is. It was Chili's. How many of you guys have done that? I know I'm not the only one. Yes, Linda, like seriously, that always happens to me too. I'm like, it's right there. I can feel it floating in my brain. Yep, exactly. What ended up happening, those 4 a.m. thoughts. Yes, Erica. Yes, yes, yes. The thing is, guys, it's because that actually went into a slow cooker in your brain, and apparently it was set on extreme low. Okay. It's the same thing. It went into an incubation process. Okay. Right. It drives you crazy until you remember. But that's the thing is sometimes we got to let it just like stop for a second, because that little filing person in our brain is like running through all these endless shelves and filing cabinets trying to remember the name of that one dang restaurant. Okay. And sometimes we got to give it a little bit of time, just a little bit of time. So next time, just a little bit of advice. Next time you guys can't remember the name of something like that and it starts driving you nuts, think of if you've ever seen Inside Out, think of like one of those little cartoon characters, and they're just like running, trying to go to that filing cabinet to remember that one thing, okay? And give that person a break and just kind of say, okay, you know what? I'll get back to you on that one. All right. Um, but you guys got to understand that all truths are easy to understand once they are discovered. And in order for that to happen, you've got to let an incubation process happen, okay? You've got to take that entire experience, put it into the slow cooker, and just let it cook for a little while, all right? The point is to discover them, and that takes investigation, and we've got to let our minds investigate that. And then there's illumination. At the end of the day, you should play back the tapes of your performance. The results should either applaud you or prod you. This is Jim Rohn. Anybody who knows who Jim Rohn is should know this quote right here. At the end of the day, you should play back the tapes of your performance. Now, any movie that's done, any commercial that's done, anything that is recorded, guys, there are teams that go over these tapes, okay? After days, weeks, months, sometimes years of filming, they go over these tapes. They cut things out, they snip things together, okay? Why? Because some of them, some of those scenes, some of those takes weren't great. They weren't part of what the ending should be. So what you need to do at the end of the day, you know, is take that reflective time and play back the tape of your day. Again, you are the director, you are the producer, you're also the editor. So play back the tapes of your day. What all did you do? What all did you say? Write it down. Were there things you could have done differently? Were there things that you did that were just so freaking amazing? You just have to share it with the world. Share it with the world. Even if it's holy smokes, guys, I got out of bed today. Dude, if you are proud of yourself on that, share it. Live it up. I'm sure there's going to be 20 or 30 other people going, heck yeah, I did too. You've got your tribe. But what if you did some stuff that, I don't know, you know, you sit there and you say, God, I could have done more. Did I actually work on my business? Did I actually work on myself? Did I take that time that I needed? Did I let things simmer, or did I just blow up? Those should prod you to take more positive action versus negative. So at the end of the day, guys, illuminate your mind by reflecting on your day. Play back the tapes of your entire performance throughout that day. Some of the things you're going to have to throw in the slow cooker and just let it simmer. Don't let it keep you from getting a good night's sleep. But definitely celebrate your successes. and work on your hiccups. Drink some water, hold your breath, do something. Sometimes you need to change that course. Now, good questions are the heart of reflection. Take a screenshot of this, guys, because I would absolutely, positively love for you to send me the answers. Oh, wait, did I say homework? No, I didn't. Guess what? This is homework. So remember, successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. Mr. Tony Robbins himself. Let's say that one again. Successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. Good questions are the heart of reflection. What's your biggest asset? What is your biggest liability? What is your highest high and what is your highest low? What's your most worthwhile emotion? And what is your least worthwhile emotion? What's your best habit? My best habit is meditating. Literally, it's meditating. That is my best habit because it is my habit. I have to do it every day. Nobody has to remind me. Nobody has to tell me I do it. What is my least worthwhile emotion? Anger. I can get angry very quickly. Guys, I have Spanish, I have Polynesian, and I have Irish. Okay, that should answer it all right there inside of me. I get angry very easily, but it is my least worthwhile emotion. It does me no good. My anger does not do me any good. When I pop off, it doesn't do me any good. So I have to hold myself back. That's something I have to work on, which is why my best habit is meditation. These are all questions you need to ask yourself. And a lot of times you need to ask yourself these on just absolute and positive daily basis. Ooh, we got a Scott and German in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Linda, we can talk sometime. So guys, answer these questions, send them to me, forexcoachamy@gmail.com. This is your homework. Homework over the holidays, always, guys, always. Consistency is great. Besides, you guys had an entire week off from homework, so I don't want to hear it. And for those of you who have not turned in any homework, I suggest going back through the videos on YouTube and getting it together. Catch up, guys. All right, let's do this. Let's bring consistency. Let's bring action, positive action, to very much needed goals. Okay, Annie, you are full-blooded Italian and Taurus the bull. Yeah, my aunt is just like that. So, all right, I gotcha. So, guys, get this homework done by next. I'd like to have them in by Sunday. All right, I would love to see them in my inbox by Sunday. I will give you guys a little bit of a pass because of Christmas. Notice I said little bit of a pass because guess what, guys? Business and self-improvement doesn't take a holiday. And y'all need to understand that. Business and self-improvement do not take holidays. We take time for our families, but eventually, guys, the love of being around your family, you're going to want to take a break and you're going to want to go out and breathe, okay? During that time, really self-reflect and ask yourself, what's your biggest asset? What's your biggest liability? What's your highest high? What's your highest low? What's your most worthwhile emotion? What's your least worthwhile emotion? What is your best habit? And remember, successful people are better, ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. So the more questions you ask yourself, the better questions you ask yourself, the better answers you're going to give yourself and get in return as well from others. So everybody, I want you guys to have an absolutely and positively Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Go out there, enjoy that time with your family, but also don't stop where you are going. don't stop your progress, whether it be self progress, whether it be, you know, business progress. Keep going, okay? End the year strong. This has been the hardest of hard years, guys, for a lot of people. It is time to reflect and take action. I love you guys very much. Don't forget about the rest of the webinars today. I will actually see you guys, I believe, on the round table. Is there a round table today? I got to look at the schedule too. It's Monday. Anyways, enjoy your Monday, guys. Thank you so, so much. I love you all, and we'll talk to you next